What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the page, the channel. My name is Rashad with Living by the Code, and in today's video we're going to be going over the difference between a front-end engineer, a web developer, versus a software engineer. I'm also going to bring up a little bit about the back-end engineer as well. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. So we're going to be breaking these down into two separate groups. First, I'm going to pair these groups together. The front-end engineer and the web developer, I'm going to put them in one group. Then I might put the software engineer and the back-end engineer in another group, because I think it'll make more sense if I was to compare them like that. So with front-end engineers and with web development is actually in the name. What you're doing, you are developing applications for the web. 9 times out of 10, what that means is you are building websites. I don't think a lot of people, when they get into web development, they really understand that. It's that web development, essentially what you're doing is building websites. You are using technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and a whole bunch of other frameworks. And the good old handy dandy, which I don't know for whatever reason everybody likes to leave out, the good old PHP, because WordPress is a major part of client. If you ever choose to freelance or work in an agency, of dealing with clients, so WordPress is a huge one. So I have to throw PHP in there because it is really like the king of small businesses websites. So with software engineers, with software engineers, I think a good example to help you understand, if you was to think of somebody like Tony Stark. So Tony Stark, aka Iron Man, aka Elon Musk. Tony Stark is what you call a mechatronics engineer, and a mechatronics engineer uses mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, and computer engineer, or software engineer, whichever software engineer. Let's stick with that. And when they use their software engineer, is usually to get a machine to take some type of action. So they are not developing software for the use of the web. It's to connect with the machine to get it to take whatever actions that they need that machine to take. They usually use languages like Python, C, C++, MySQL, PHP too as well, MySQL to retrieve data and such like that. They're not really making applications, once again, for the web, which is kind of similar to what a back-end engineer can do as well when you're building other complex applications. So those are really the two biggest differences between web developing, front-end developing, versus kind of what a software engineer does. So which one should you call yourself? I'm gonna be honest, whatever makes you feel comfortable. A lot of people, definitely when they are in the industry, they love to gatekeep software engineers, like to say that web development is not real engineering, or whatever that you want to call it. But whatever makes you feel comfortable. If I had to choose what I call myself, I'll say a front-end engineer and web developer, because truly that's what I do. I make applications for the web. I build a lot of websites. So web developer, I don't mind. And I'm not gonna lie, whenever I'm talking to like family and friends who don't know, just to make myself sound bougie, I usually say software engineer. So there it is. Whichever one you want to call yourself. But please be aware though, if you run into like a mechatronics engineer, you say you're a software engineer and you're a web developer, they might try to gatekeep the name software engineer. So that's it for this video. If you like the video, make sure you give it 2 thumbs up if everything was explained properly. If you have any questions, or maybe something wasn't as clear as you would want it to be, leave a comment down below. Make sure that you check the channel for other videos related to front-end development and web development. Until the next time, y'all, happy coding.